Hey y'all, Michelle Raza here with Finding Yourself SATX Life Coaching, coming to you out of San Antonio, Texas. Today we're going to talk about Dr. Gibson's Recovering from Emotionally Immature Parents. We are on her last chapter, so we've gone all the way through chapters 1 through 9, and now we're on chapter 10, which is You Can Have the Relationship You've Always Wanted. I think she's talking about managing the relationship, but we have heard her say multiple times in these in these works, and of course I've covered them in the videos, the deep emotional relationship that maybe you desire to have with your EIP may not be possible, but by following the steps in this work, you can have a better relationship and maybe not dread your interactions as much. If you like these videos, if they provide value to you, please do like and subscribe. It really does help us little YouTubers. And check out my website. I'm at www.findingyourselfsatx.com. If you're not already a client and you would like to talk to me, the first consult is always free and there's no obligation thereafter. Thank you. Okay, so today we're going to continue. 2 thoughts that will rebalance any interaction with an EIP. Unfair EI relationship patterns can be rebalanced with 2 new thoughts that will vastly improve your interactions with any EIP. When there is conflict or you feel emotionally coerced by an EIP, do the following. 1. See yourself as equal in importance to them. I am just as important as they are. 2. Keep a conscious self-connection and accept yourself unconditionally. I have good stuff inside me. Recalling these 2 facts, you are just as important as they are, and you have good stuff inside you, blocks any EIP's attempt at coercion or entitlement. When you remember these 2 things, your interaction with an EIP will feel different. The EIP may continue to do what they do, but if you see yourself as equally important and stay self-connected, you'll have a completely different relationship experience. When you exercise these foundational attitudes, you can't be dominated, separated from yourself, or fooled into thinking that your experience is not as important as theirs. 1. You are equal in importance to them. EIPs can't imagine that anybody's needs are as important as theirs because they feel entitled to a position above you in the relationship hierarchy. They assume you too will accept their primacy. Such confidence can give them an air of authority or even charisma, but their self-assurance originates in egocentricity and emotional immaturity. Fortunately, now you can see through such self-centered assumptions. Your self-reconnection begins as soon as you start wondering what exactly makes them a more important person than you. As you ponder this question, you will discover that there isn't a reason why they're more important than you. It's just the feeling you get. Once you see yourself as equal in importance, in spite of their behavior to the contrary, you'll naturally think of more active and assertive responses. You'll ask for what you prefer in the moment. You'll respond in ways that gently remind them, I'm here too, and my needs matter as much as yours. You'll explain what would be best for you without shame or apology, because there's nothing shameful about being on an equal footing. 2. You keep your self-connection and accept yourself unconditionally. By honoring the worth of your inner self and inner world, you'll feel a new security and contentment. When you accept yourself as you are and stay connected with your immediate experience in this moment, you'll feel stronger inside. When you love yourself as an evolving being, it feels right to protect your energy and interests. No longer will you dissociate from your own feelings in order to make EIPs the center of your attention. It'll feel unacceptable to put your needs on hold just because they like to come first. It's important to resist the urge to shrink yourself into a tiny space inside yourself when you're around the EIP. It's wrong for you to take up as little room as possible just so they can expand. This shriveling of your value is a leftover childhood defense and should come to an end. By protecting your right to your own thoughts and feelings, you stay present. Instead of shrinking and becoming their obliging audience, you can remain full. So the two thoughts: see yourself as equal in importance to them, and when they start trying to dominate, think to yourself, I am just as important as they are. Keep a conscious self-connection and accept yourself unconditionally. I have good stuff inside of me. So when they try to make you feel less than just for existing, remember that you are worthy just for existing. And even if when you were little, and I think I said this in the last video, but if when you were little you couldn't defend yourself, don't beat yourself up about that. You were a child. And the only thing that we can do now is to take lessons from that and do better. And so you're not little anymore. You're an adult. And when you're dealing with your EIP, remember, I'm just as important as they are. They don't have the right to shut me up or to take up all the room in the space. And go back and watch those tips of how to interact. Limit your time. Make sure that you have an escape plan. Make sure that you always have an excuse ready. You know, I'm late for a meeting, or I think she said at some point something about, you know, a guy who would just yawn and say he was tired. And they said, why are you always tired? And he's like, I don't know, I always am. And that was just his excuse, and he didn't have to explain it any further than that. But whatever works for you, right? Whether you always have another appointment, whether you have a friend that's on standby that you can text and they can call you and there's an emergency, or whether you don't need anything like that and you just say, okay, I'm leaving now. It's effective, and it's your right. It's your right to be able to determine the time that you're going to spend with them, as little or as much as you feel comfortable. And that doesn't mean that you neglect your family obligations, but it also means that you can't just allow yourself to be steamrolled by family members or other EIPs in your life that think that somehow they're more important than you are, or they deserve to be heard more than you do. I think that's one of the most valuable lessons of this book, right? You deserve to be heard. You deserve, your inner world is important. And ideally, you would find a group of people who can value you and value your inner world, and maybe help balance some of those interactions with your EIPs that are not as pleasant. So we're almost to the end of this chapter. We have a few more videos to go in chapter 10 and then the epilogue. And then we'll be moving into Melody Beattie's Codependent No More. All of these self-help books are just the tip of the iceberg. They're books that I hope that you purchase and you read either in paperback form, Audible, electronic form, or check out from your library. If you would like more customized formats for coaching, I do focus on the 7 different life areas. I don't have my paper in front of me, but on Monday I'll go ahead and talk to you about what they are, what we can focus on, what we can do for you. But I do want to, you know, focus on Dr. Gibson's work in this video and in the other ones, and then move to Melody Beattie's. So thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for spending time. It's a beautiful day here in San Antonio, Texas. I hope it's beautiful where you are, and if it's rainy, maybe you can snuggle up with a nice book. Maybe you can grab this book and snuggle up with it. So I'll talk with you guys on Monday. Please do like and subscribe, check out my site, and if I haven't talked to you in the past, give me a call. We can have an hour-long conversation free of charge with no obligation thereafter. Thank you all. Take care. Bye-bye.